My name is Anthony and I'm going to be teaching you how to install a laundry to edible landscape system inside your house. So we're currently in the front yard of a 3-bedroom house in Alameda County, which is in the East Bay of San Francisco in a city called San Leandro. California right now is undergoing a drought, and the city is kind of encouraging residents to lower their water consumption. But that's not the real issue. The real issue is that California spends a lot of water, almost half of it, on industrial agriculture. And that's a problem because you have these big farms that are growing crops that aren't consumed in California. And actually one of the biggest consumers of water is alfalfa. And that's not even consumed in the US, that's actually shipped to China, which is used in their dairy industry to feed their cows. So what we have to do is we have to rethink how we grow our food, and that's why the laundry to edible landscape system is so interesting. Okay, so here we are. This is the washing machine. It's a front loader, so that means that it's going to be a little bit more water efficient, maybe 10 to 15 gallons per load, or if you put it on heavy duty, that's probably going to be anywhere between 20 to 30 gallons. So what I did was I bought a kit from the Urban Farmer store, and I'll provide a link below and it'll have all the parts in the kit. But it's a very simple, straightforward system. I want to kind of highlight a couple of the issues that I ran into. So first of all, it's good to start by mounting the system on a wooden plank. This gives it a lot of stability, and you can't see it here, but I just drilled in 2 holes on each side. And in the kit, you're going to get your threads, your adapters, you're going to get this 3-way brass valve. You're also going to get this clamp as well as this adapter right here. And also inside the kit is this tape, which you definitely want to be wrapping all of your threads with the tape before you put it in. So you basically have 2 options, and what's good is to follow this arrow right here, and this will tell you where the water flow is going. So this arrow is pointing out, and that'll go out to the backyard. And if I turn it up like this, then it'll be pointing to the sewer. So moving down here, one of the obstacles that I encountered was drilling this hole through this wall. And this is wood, and I bought this 1.5 inch hole saw bit that was meant for wood, and the guy even at the Home Depot was like, well, there's another one for metal, but it was an extra $20 to buy an additional adapter bit for the power saw. So we ended up spending about 2 hours trying to muscle our way through this wall, which on the outside here is actually metal. So this is an interesting piece. This is the vacuum breaker, so that air can get in and your water doesn't go back up and into the washing machine. So that's a really important piece that also comes with the kit. And everything after that is just kind of a combination of PVC and connector elbows or 3-ways. And then outside here you can see a little plot of land. We didn't have a lot to work with, but it was enough. And we have the PVC pipe running out the side down into the bed, and this soil was really tough to work with. And this, you can't see it really well, but this is going to go underneath here. See it right here. It's going to take a turn, and then right when we get to about here, let's see if I can find it. Yeah. Right when we get to about here, we're going to switch to the black poly tubing, and this is a 1-inch poly. And what I did is I bought this connector, this adapter right here, so that this 1-inch PVC can connect to the 1-inch poly tubing. And the poly tubing comes out here. There's also a smaller 1/2-inch tube that is connected to the main 1-inch line. And here I have just a small lemon tree, and these probably don't need much water. Maybe when it gets a little bit bigger, maybe 5 to 10 gallons a week. And one thing to remember is if you have an existing tree, if you add a Graywater system to it, that tree is probably not used to that much water, so you may shock it with all the extra water. So be mindful of that. And then I'm just going to open this up inside, and we have if you can see it here, we have the 1-inch, I'm sorry, the 1/2-inch tubing with a valve on the top. And that means if this tree is getting a lot of water, then I can turn this valve off, and obviously it's not going to get that water. Another thing to note is down here on the bottom is a mulch basin. And according to Art Ludwig, who is the godfather of Graywater, he says that mulch basins are the key to Graywater success. So there's probably a couple inches of mulch down here, and when the water comes out of this valve, it's going to be able to permeate through the soil a lot quicker, as opposed to just going directly to soil, which won't seep down as easily. So I also have the end of this tube elevated quite a bit, maybe about 6 inches from the ground. Art Ludwig recommends about 2 inches, and that's going to keep any type of plants from growing into the outlet. So that's nice and settled. And this is an emitter shield that I picked up, and then I just drilled a hole in the side here with this guy using a lot of force. So we have another, this pipe will run along the ground here, and we have our second tree. And once again, open this up, we have another valve. The bigger idea here is to actually connect a water flow sensor to the end of these valves, and then connect it to the internet so that I can get a feedback loop of information and data showing how much water these plants are getting and how much they need. And you can already see here some yellow has started to appear on the tree, so I'm gonna have to figure out what's up with that. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. And then also another thing to remember for Graywater is you always want to have an open outlet, so that even if these other trees are closed off when I've closed those valves, there's still enough room for all that excess water to get out. I just want to show you kind of what we can measure this against. So this is the next door neighbor's lemon or lime tree, and you can see that it's kind of neglected, but it's still producing. Now, what I like to think of is, you know, what if this was getting the nutrients that it needs, the water that it needs? I want to end on one thing. This is a Graywater friendly detergent, so don't use Tide, stick to Ecos, or if you want to go even more advanced, you can pick up the Oasis detergent. But this is super easy. I picked it up at Walmart. It was about $9, and it's going to do about 128 loads. So I hope this video brought you some meaningful information. I hope that you can also install a Graywater system in your home and have that be passively growing fruit trees in your backyard. And hopefully we get to a point one day where we can say all the food that we need is actually produced in our backyards. So thanks for watching. My name is Anthony, and leave a comment if you enjoyed the video. Thanks.